Hey, welcome back if you've been joining us for the yarn making series. This is lesson number 5 in setting your twist. So we have plied this yarn. It's a 2-ply yarn, and see, it's got some character to it. But if you are not plying yarn, then you don't have to. If you just made singles, then you still set your twist. And you do that on a knitty-knotty. Now this is my homemade knitty-knotty. You can buy fancy wooden knitty-knotties, but the advantage of this one is that it can be submerged in water. And that is kind of useful. Now, I made this myself without taking all of the direction of somebody else because you know how I am. I fly by the seat of my pants. And it didn't occur to me that it would be better to have a smaller knitty-knotty. My knitty-knotty is 54 inches across. The other person's knitty-knotty was 36 inches. And I bet you can figure out why. Because 36 inches is 1 yard. So it's super easy to count up your how much yarn you have. You can say, oh, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 100 loops on here, so I have 100 yards. That would have been a lot easier. I, on the other hand, have to use a calculator to say, okay, I have 54 inches times 10 of these loops divided by 36 equals how many yards. So if you're making one, think about that. And this is just PVC pipe. See, so it's sort of like Tinker Toys. Super easy to make, and I didn't even have to cut it. I just took it over to Ace Hardware and I asked them to cut it, and they did. So if you don't want to cut it, just ask your hardware guy. It probably can cut it for you. Sometimes there's a little fee, but there wasn't for me because I go to Ace all the time and they know how crazy I am and they do stuff for me. They're like, what do you need now, Christy? More great stuff. Or I tell them my wild project that I have in my mind. Okay, so we're going to take this, we're going to off-center this. So it has to be turned a little bit. Like that. So, and you go over. Uh-oh, I'm going to hold on to I don't want it looping around here. Make it all the way down. So I'm holding it tight. You might put it on a knitting needle if you need to. I might put it on a knitting needle. I've never put it on this thing before. But I had my Lazy Kate, so I thought, well, I'll do that. So we go over and under and over and under. And you just gotta hold on. This has got a lot of bounce to it. Over, under, over, under. So I want you to see what I'm doing. So I'll back you up. You go over, under, over, under. You're not making an X. Okay? If you start to see an X, you're not really doing it super correct. But if you keep it on here, FYI, it really won't matter if it's an X or not. It only becomes a big problem when you're taking it off and you're hanging and drying it. But I'll show you what to do to avoid any tangling. Now, you put this on here to set your twist and to avoid tangling when you are going to store your skeins without turning them into balls. So that is what you're doing here. So I'll get this all on here, and then I'm going to submerge this in the bathtub. So I will just keep doing this. I wonder how long I could pause my video, because you know I hate to edit. But I also know that this is probably a little bit boring to watch. Or maybe not. I watched it over and over and over again when I was learning how to do it, because I was like, what is she doing? She's just going over and under and over and under and over and under on each thing. I have to keep telling myself over and under, or else I will like forget what I'm doing. I'm like, am I over or am I under? This is so thick that I actually don't have that many rows. It fills up my jumbo bobbin. But I was talking to my mom about jumbo yarn, and she's like, yes, I did want kind of jumbo thick because I want my project to go fast, which is where I probably inherited that from her, because she taught me how to crochet, and I'm the same way. See, now I'm going to have just enough here to tie it off. Well, I have a little bit extra, but I'll take this and cut it. And of course, I won't be able to find my scissors because I'm filming. So what I'll do is I'll just take this little hooky thing, which will probably be sharp enough to cut. I know it's sharp enough to cut everything else. Oh yeah, it is. It's my special little thing for when it's my cobbler's awl. It's very sharp. Okay, so then you take these and then you just tie them. These two ends. So remember, I started out holding an end towards the middle, and I'll just give it a little tie, little bow. Don't make it too tight, okay? Just do a regular little bow. Now, I can take this and level it all up. Now, it does have a little cross right there, but I don't really care because it's going to stay on here. Now, what you do, if you're going to take it off, is you're going to tie up these areas on here. And we'll show you how to do that in a little bit. But you tie them up sort of like in a figure 8, and you keep those together. But before we do that, let's take it to the bathtub, because I'm not taking it off right now. Okay, so this is interesting. I have to film it like down here because I had it facing me. Now it's facing the tub. So I'll just go like that. And fill it up. So that'll get all submerged in the water. So that'll get all submerged in there, and I'll let it stay for like at least probably like a half an hour at least. And then I will take it over here and I'll put it over my vent, my little air vent, and I'll dry it. But before I do that, I'll set it in the bathtub and let it dry a little bit. Backlit. Okay, so that's how we're gonna start, and then I'll do another little tie-up video for you in case you want to take yours off of your knitty-knotty because you're rocking and you only have one knitty-knotty and you got to get it off of there. So so I'll show you how to do that in the next video. Talk to you later.